cameras were turned off, and we went back into our offices, we would sit down and really talk about what needed to be done. And so a lot of the progress that we experienced over the past several decades was a result of these conversations that we had away from the lights of the television cameras. But that's what went on. And it served us, and that was, whether it was Washington or Indianapolis or Fort Wayne, that's the way it was. You played your role that you were supposed to play based upon the philosophical foundation of your respective parties. That's what you did publicly. But then when you got behind closed doors and you sat down and had dinner with a Republican or the Democrat, you would hammer those things out for the betterment of the community.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unfortunately, several years ago, there was an emergence of a new philosophical base. At that time, it was called the Tea Party.
Mm-hmm.
You may be familiar with their thinking. But I was in Washington at the time talking to Senator Lugar, Dick Lugar, God rest his soul.
Mm-hmm.
Senator Lugar was a heck of a man. Now, he was a Republican, but he and I got along great. And I was in his office one time, and I asked him how things were going, and he said, Mayor, he said, it's not as fun as it used to be. He said, I used to be able to sit down with my Democratic friends, and we'd hammer things out, and we'd get things done. He said, but now there's this new group of people that call themselves the Tea Party. He said, they're ruining everything. He said, they won't negotiate, and they don't want to sit down and break away at all from their strong philosophical foundation. They won't move. And he said, good legislation is the art of good compromise, and they won't compromise. And he went on and on. Well, as you know, he got beat the next time he ran, and he got beat by a Tea Party candidate. And now we have this new Republican phenomena of the Trump followers. And I don't know where you stand on that, but I think that he has put our country in his base they put us in a very vulnerable position, because I think there are a number of Republicans out there who just don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
They've got his ideologies, which he's asking them to follow, and then there's the old Republican Party, if you will, with their philosophical base, and then you've got the Democrats who don't know which one of those sides of the Republican Party is ultimately going to be the one they're going to have to face. So there's a lot of confusion right now as to who's doing what, and I wish I had the answer, and I don't. And then you've got your new, actually a lot of young people who are now very concerned from an environmental perspective, and they're talking about trying to bring in the new Green Party, which they've attempted before. It's never really taken off, but now it's coming back into a discussion state again. So you've got a lot of confusion as to where this country should go from a political perspective, and there's all kinds of views now. Where before, as I mentioned, it was pretty evenly divided between Republicans and Democrats. Now you've got the emergence of you still got some of these Tea Party people running around, but now you've got the Trump followers, and you've got the Green Party, as I mentioned, of several different groups that it's causing quite a